Welcome to my 2-minute drill. I have a couple great quotes to start us off. The person who knows how will always have a job. The person who knows why will always be the boss. Several people are quoted as saying this, so I'm not sure who it was first. Just as the rich rule the poor, so a borrower is a servant of the lender. This comes from Solomon, the writer of Proverbs. What we're talking about for the next 10 sessions are principles of self-management, the ability to govern ourselves. We want to talk about ownership today. Owning is something that is an intrinsic desire for every person. Remember when you bought your first CD, or for those who are a little older, your first record? What about your first car, your first home? I can remember buying an Elton John record in the early 1970s, my first pop recording. My first car was a used American Motors Ambassador that I bought for $1 in 1980. I got into an accident with it 3 days later. Sandra and I owned our first home. That didn't come until the 2000s, when I was already in my mid-40s. Very exciting to have a home and a mortgage. Ownership brings responsibility. It brings experience. It brings joy. It can also bring hardships and stress. When we own a house, we have a mortgage to cover every week. When we own a business, we have employees looking to get a paycheck each week. Ownership is also a spiritual responsibility. Way back when there was just Adam and Eve, God gave them dominion over the earth. He put them in charge of naming animals, caring for the land, etc. What if you don't own a house or a business? Taking ownership of others' projects, ideas, resources is a very valued character trait. We call it stewardship. I believe that Christians are supposed to be better stewards than those who have yet to follow Jesus. We have an ethic or a code that comes from knowing the heartbeat of God. Ownership, in one sense, has nothing to do with owning an asset. It is the value of stewarding. Being responsible with my stuff and your stuff is a God quality. Jesus didn't even have his own ministry, remember. He stewarded what his Father wanted him to do. Make a decision today to be a great steward. Live for yourself as well as living for others. Join me today when we will be addressing the topic of honesty. To go deeper, head to lared.org and click on Principles.